All right, guys, we're doing a little different today. We got me and Armando in for the live stream. Alex is doing the meeting. He got some important things to handle. Hit the like button, share the video. Let's get this shared so we can get a lot of viewers in here, and give it up, show support for me and Armando's first time without Alex.
Isai, don't worry. We got you today. We're going to be going over a lot of different analysis. I'm going to get kind of technical on here, so we got a lot in store for you guys today.
Hey, man, I'm already a coffee in. I don't drink Celsius like Alex, but let's get hyped up, man. Share the video. My bad, guys. I'll try to tone it down a little bit. I got you, Matt. All right, guys, we got about 1 minute left. Let's get the likes up, share the video.
What's going on, y'all? I hope you're ready for the stream. We're about to go live here. Thanks y'all for tuning in. Thank you for coming in. Thank you. Just gonna let everyone wrap in. If you don't know, my name's Armando. I'm gonna be taking over for Alex today. I got a lot of exciting news to go over. I just want to ask you guys, how was your weekend? Did you guys have a nice weekend? Because I sure did. Actually, we went to a wedding. Shout out Nicole and Emmy. You guys, beautiful wedding. Were you guys keeping an eye on the markets like I was? I don't know about you, but there were obviously some turbulent moments in there. But if you were with us last week, I kind of went over what were some of the situations we could possibly see with Bitcoin. And we kind of saw it come to fruition, right? So I'm going to be going over it a little bit more in depth in the stream. But I called it, guys. I kind of called it. I said it would kind of bounce off that trend line, and what did we see? But other than that, what we got going on? How are you guys feeling today?
Yeah, let us know what you guys are doing for the weekend. Anything crypto related?
Anything that you guys saw that was worth bringing up, maybe?
There you go. Shout out to Okie Pokey, always first in the chat.
Always first, always bringing that energy. I like that, Okie. Thank you.
We got Matt the Wizard in the chat. You guys might be able to, sneak in a question for him.
Doing wizardly things. Awesome, guys. So with that being said, we all know that the market is kind of rebounding right now. I do have a lot of news that we want to talk about. So I'm going to kind of just jump right into it, and we're going to go right into talking about some of the news that I have to bring to you guys today.
Real quick, this live stream is brought to you by Fundamental Secrets, the best cryptocurrency course around the world. We have live coaching, we have Q&As, we have everything you can need. Still 40% off on the day. I don't know how much longer you guys are going to be able to get in because Marty and Johnny are booked, but try while you can, 40% off.
Yeah, last time I saw Marty, guys, he was on his second reign, which is, I don't know if you know what rain is, but it's like Celsius on a whole nother level. So.
Yeah, you think you can handle coffee, go drink a rain. Marty's 2 in, so.
Just to give you guys a heads up on how busy he is, all right? So just to start off, guys, I don't know about you, but I'm a really big Marvel fan. So last night they did have that sale for No Way Home, I think is the movie's called, for Spider-Man. It's coming out in 2 weeks. As an avid Marvel fan, I obviously tried to purchase tickets last night for their sale, and I did not have any luck. And I finally figured out why this morning when I kind of started doing some research as to what was going on with AMC. And if you want to switch it over to me, Eddie, here on this tab.
Yeah, let's get that mic a little closer to you.
For sure.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Even closer.
Awesome. So AMC, guys, they're kind of teaming up with Sony, and they're going to be launching a Spider-Man NFT for their film premiere. As if you were me last night, I was trying to purchase tickets, and it didn't really go so well. They're pretty much selling 86,000 exclusive NFTs, as you guys know, non-fungible tokens, that they were selling with these tickets. So being bombarded by people obviously trying to get and watch the movie, and then obviously people who are interested in the NFTs that they have to offer, right? So the CEO came out and said, thank you guys for your patience. They're obviously trying to fix everything so everyone can get one. Luckily enough, this morning I was able to get my tickets, so I will be watching the movie and getting my NFT. And once I get the NFT, I'll probably go over it on stream with you guys, go over it what it is, because they still haven't announced what exactly the NFT is going to be. So we'll see, and we'll keep an eye out for that. Like I mentioned, Bitcoin has rebounded, guys, and it's not just Bitcoin in the crypto market, but it seems like markets around the world are starting to rebound off of what happened over the weekend with this whole variant coming out, right, guys? So It's basically much as everyone guessed it. It was mostly just FUD. It was kind of overblown, and we can see the market starting to recover. You know, not just crypto, stocks and futures and equities have all rebounded very well. What can we see here? Coincides with the Dow, right, guys? So as you can see here, the Dow rebounded by 300 points. I think Moderna even skyrocketed and was up 20% in futures, which is absolutely crazy. 20% moves in the crypto market, guys, is like an average everyday thing. In the stock space, if anything jumps 20%, that's actually a pretty big move.
Yeah, when's the last time you seen the S&P 500 jump up 20%?
So that's pretty interesting. This also follows by more Adidas news, guys. I feel like I'm seeing Adidas on the news every single day for something new. Last week, as we know, we went over it. Adidas going on a partnership with Adidas. They obviously announced their partnership with Coinbase and probably going to do NFTs with Coinbase. And just now, right now they're teaming up with Bored Ape Yacht Club, one of the biggest NFT sets in the world. They kind of teased some pictures here of obviously the Bored Apes wearing some Adidas clothing, and then obviously this newer set that's coming out, I believe called the Punks. Pretty interesting, guys. This is just crazy, right? So Adidas is diving headfirst into the metaverse. They just keep making partnerships, and to be honest, this is just more mass adoption, right, guys? We continuously see it. I'm not really sure what much more to say about Adidas. They just literally, I buy their shoes. Hopefully I can buy their NFTs if I can afford it, but we'll keep an eye on that one, right, guys?
Right. I purchased it wasn't a Yeezy NFT, but these NFTs that had Yeezys on them, and I mean, it shows the bridge between something like sneakerheads and the metaverse. So I think it's gonna be big.
It's gonna be big. More news, right? More mass adoption. This is something that I thought was interesting. I started researching it more, but I'll probably get more info on it. But it's basically Germany's new government is bringing crypto to the front line. And we've heard this time and time before. It's just new governments and bigger governments kind of just accepting it, right? In Germany's case, they proposed, I think it was called, they pretty much proposed a bill that's going to be going over crypto and why they think they should be on the front lines of that. They're pretty much continuing to commit to 80% renewable resources, and they kind of want crypto to kind of head that, right? So right here, this is some of the policies, including phasing out coal by 2030, and probably the most important part, it kind of goes over right here, right? So the most important tenet, and at least for crypto enthusiasts, right, is the country's ambition to digitalize. The new government is pledged to create a digital state and develop new strategies for cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. So Germany is obviously one of the biggest economies around the world, and for them to be putting this up front and center, for them to kind of vote on and try and make this an actual thing is huge. And we see that followed by Thailand, right? So Thailand, if you guys don't know, is one of the biggest tourism hubs in the world just because of all the natural beauties they have around the island. That's actually on my bucket list to go to. And now they're adding crypto, which gives you more, or they're going to plan on, I believe if I read the article correctly, they're planning on having no taxes for crypto, or at least Bitcoin, if I read correctly. So they're planning on trying to attract more people to spend all sorts of crypto there. The Tourism Authority of Thailand, what they call TAT, pretty much is giving suggestions on what they think they should do next to recover from what was horrible, pandemic for them. As you can see here, they have some statistics. The number of international tourists plunged from 39.8 million in 2019 to 6.7 million in 2020. That's a huge drop off. Imagine if your country, kind of like Florida, right? We depend on tourism a lot for our economy and for the state to do well. Well, Thailand they depend on their tourism to make their money. And losing that amount of people coming to their country and spending money there hit their economy in such a bad way. And now they're trying to find a way to combat that, right? So as you can see here, tourism contributes to Thailand's GDP, and according to the statistics here, right, it dropped from 18.21% to 6%. That's a 12% drop in GDP production. That's bad. There's no other way to look at it. That's just bad.
In simple terms, it's just bad. There's no other way
literally. Not much more you can say about that, right? Statistics speak for themselves, right? So it's just huge news, right? So them adopting crypto is them a way to like hedge against that happening again, or trying to prevent newcomers to come and visit them, right? They want more people to come and spend money on their island. And if you can add another way for people to pay for things, or to come and maybe live there and avoid having to pay taxes, that just incentivizes more people to come and live there, right? And that's ultimately what they want. They want more people to spend money, and they want their economy to go back to how it was before everything happened with this pandemic, right, guys? In more interesting news, this one was pretty interesting, right, guys? So Celsius just says employees suspended amid rumors of CFO arrest in Israel. Now, this is pretty big. As you all know, Celsius is a network that does lending platforms and tries to pretty much give another another way for you to use crypto, right? So you can put your crypto in Celsius, and then you can take off a loan against it. You can also leave it there and just earn higher percent APR than you normally would at any regular finance institution like a bank. And basically what happened was, over the weekend, the CFO basically was tied to another company that apparently had I don't want to say a laundering scheme, but basically they got into some financial issues, and now it's basically affecting the CFO, even though he isn't tied to Celsius. Because he's the CFO of Celsius. They had to suspend him pretty much because they don't want, I guess, it to continue into their company. The previous company, which I believe it goes over here in the article. Yes, if you go over here to the article, I should be able to show him. But basically, he was part of another company called Siren Labs, which apparently had some charges including fraud, money laundering, and sexual offenses. So pretty bad stuff. And because of that, obviously, they decided to suspend their CFO, who was kind of part of all of this. I'm not sure what is going to happen in terms of what's going to happen with Celsius from here on out, guys. This is pretty big in terms of, obviously, it's their CFO. I'm not too sure what their next plans are for the future. They're obviously probably going to let this settle itself in court, or whatever they plan on doing. But just keep your eyes on that, because I just want to bring it to your attention. It's obviously pretty big in the crypto space.
What about you? Would you be worried? If you were looking at Celsius, would you be worried?
I mean, I use Celsius, guys, so I personally have some stable coins on there just because they earn really good APR. So I'm keeping my money on there. I don't think it's that time to just take things off of Celsius yet. It hasn't come to that point. But just something to keep your eye on, right? We just always want you guys to know the most up-to-date information, and it's just something that I just wanted to bring to your attention. Next, right? So we all just know that we try to launch about 3 or 4 different ETFs here in the United States, or futures ETFs for Bitcoin, right? Well, they just did $1 trillion investment in Europe through, if you want to put it on here, Eddie, I can give you a little bit more specifics, through Investco. It's a European spot Bitcoin ETP, which is a little bit different from the ETF, right, guys? So as you go here, an ETP is similar to an exchange-traded fund, as we all know, an ETF, as it tracks performance of an underlying asset or financial instrument. So basically, this is giving more exposure to crypto without having to hold the asset itself. But what's nice about this spot ETP is that it's backed by physical Bitcoin, right? So as opposed to the futures ETF that we have here in the United States, it doesn't actually physically hold crypto, but this ETP is actually going to be backed by physical Bitcoin, which will obviously help with the supply, will cause probably more of a supply shock, because interesting chart here. I'll go over on Glassnodes. As you can see, the supply on exchanges in regards to Bitcoin is continuously going down, and it has been for the last couple of months. As you can see here, we kind of topped out around 14%, and this was back in May. Obviously, we all know what happened back in May. And as you can see, it's just steadily been going down, and at some point, it's going to cause a supply shock for Bitcoin, guys. This is constantly just continuing to take Bitcoin off these exchanges. And with this spot ETF being approved and more money flowing into the market, I don't know if you guys saw here, but this asset company holds over $1.3 trillion in assets, which is literally 10% of the entire crypto market, or no, I'm sorry, a third of what the crypto market is right now. If we're sitting at the all-time highs are around $3 trillion, this is literally almost a third of what the entire crypto market was just a couple of weeks ago. So think about that money literally hitting just all the crypto markets here and what it could do for us. In breaking news, something that we actually just saw happen right before we went on stream, probably an hour or two ago, I don't know if you guys saw this, but the Twitter CEO, Jack Dorsey, is expected to step down. At the moment when they released this article, they didn't really have any idea as to why he was going to be stepping down, especially because the other day he just tweeted something out like, I love Twitter. I mean, how much can you really love something if you decide to leave? But his reasons were really understandable, guys. So he actually wrote on here on Twitter. This was the letter that he actually wrote out to his team. Like he literally just, he posted it in the email that he's going to be pretty much screenshotting the letter or the email and posting it on Twitter. And he wants to be very transparent, which honestly is something that I really appreciate about Jack Dorsey, the transparency that he has, and he wants everyone to know what's going on. And in the email, he goes in depth, kind of going over why he believes the decision he's making on stepping down is what's best for the company. He pretty much names who the next CEO is going to be, which is actually, they pointed out here, his name is Parag. I hope I pronounced his name correctly. But he's going to be the next CEO. What I found that was really interesting about this is that apparently he also started as an engineer, which Jack Dorsey also started off as an engineer. So, you know, he obviously knows what's going on, the ins and outs of Twitter on like a technical level. You can read the article here if you guys want, read all the reasons why he believes this is the best for him. And based off of this, which I found really interesting, guys, the stock price of Twitter literally skyrocketed, or at least went up 2% last time I checked, which, like I mentioned, guys, 2% moves in like the stock market is a pretty, I don't want to say big move, but it's a substantial move. It's a pretty decent size move, right? So based off the fact that Jack Dorsey was stepping down, that it went up, I kind of found it conflicting. But, you know, that's just how the markets work. Some people see this as a good thing for Twitter. Others see it as, you know, a bad thing. It's just on what coin or what side of the coin you're on. Everyone's entitled to their opinions. Just make sure you have facts and stuff backing up why you believe a certain thing. Last thing I kind of wanted to bring up here in terms of very important news, guys. MicroStrategies bought the dip. So just like El Salvador buying 100 Bitcoin, MicroStrategies decided, you know what? We're going to buy our own Bitcoin. They bought 7,002 Bitcoin for about $414 million. And they've done this during the fiscal fourth quarter, right? So they kind of go in depth about the average price. So they say that the company bought around average price around 59,000. Their largest cryptocurrency market capitalization was trading around 57,000 on Monday, as we all know that. They now hold a total of 121,044 Bitcoin. That's about 3.6 billion. And they average price around 29,534. That's ridiculous. This man has been accumulating Bitcoin since, I don't even know, but for its average price to be around 29,000, that man has been believing in Bitcoin since its prices were around, you know, $10,000, $15,000. It's absolutely insane. And this just shows to go, right, guys? So people are buying the dip because they know this isn't over, right? So I mentioned it last week on the stream for different technicals that we have for why Bitcoin is still continuing on this uptrend. I'll be going a little bit more in detail over some of those technicals as to why Bitcoin might have done what it did. But they're just buying the dip, right? They're literally just dollar cost averaging. This is amazing, to be honest. I think I read a statistic on Twitter that's saying that basically with all the amount of Bitcoin Michael Saylor has, I believe he's going to have like 1 in every 20 Bitcoin that will ever be created. Some stupid number like that. But it just absolutely ridiculous. And probably the last thing that or not the last thing, but now I kind of want to switch it over and go a little bit more technical with you guys. Like I mentioned last week, I'm going to be going over those technicals in a second. Let's just see what's going on in the chat, see what you guys
leave some altcoins, leave some questions in the chat. Real quick, we got 2 giveaways going on right now. Let's see. Leave the link for those in the chat. All right, Brian, we got the Twitter giveaway.
You feel like sorry, I just saw a comment, someone stating I work with the ops. I did work with the ops. I did used to work with Wells Fargo. I am from Florida. So I don't know if you saw me in Florida and you saw me working for Wells Fargo. Yeah, it's probably me. So interesting.
Yeah, so the Twitter giveaway, guys, it's going to be for Sandbox, $200 Sandbox giveaway. And then we have a giveaway going on, $200 Bitcoin giveaway. So I left those both in the chat for you guys. We also have a survey we would like you guys to take. Give us an insight on what we can do better over here. I'm going to leave that in the chat as well. Yeah. Okay. H bar.
H bar. To be honest, I don't know too much about H bar. I know one of the coaches definitely has called H bar a while ago in the Fundamental Secrets chat that we have. I think they called it back a little while ago. I haven't done my in-depth research on it, so I probably wouldn't feel too comfortable speaking on the coin itself. But I do know they're a decent project. That's pretty much all I really know.
Umbrella.
Umbrella. So I actually do hold Umbrella. I am a big fan of Umbrella. If I check them out, I'm pretty sure they had a small pullback, obviously with everything that was pulling back this weekend. I'd probably say it's in a decent buy zone. I'm still expecting a good amount from this coin. And it's one of my, I wouldn't say one of my biggest holdings, but I do have a good amount of Umbrella.
All right, let's see. What else we got, guys? What else we got? Shout out to Mondo.
Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate the support. It is my first live stream by myself without Alex, so I appreciate you guys being here and taking some time out of your day to learn about crypto.
Let's see. I noticed you don't have a girl working on your team. We do. We have 3, actually. Just hired 2.
Yep.
You got the op info. Yeah, he's giving us the inside. How much is the Fundamental Secrets course? We have different price points. You're going to have to hit up Marty or Johnny for that, guys.
Yeah, guys, go on the website, and if you apply there, Marty or Johnny will hit you up. And that's the only way they'll hit you up, by the way, guys. So watch out for scams. I know that's something that's very prevalent out there. So if you want more information on the Fundamental Secrets, please go on the website. Once you apply there, then Johnny and Marty will reach out to you, and they can go over specifics in terms of prices and plans and stuff that we have for you.
Try soon, guys. We still got that 40% off that ends tonight.
And the way things are looking, Marty and Johnny will probably be there all night. So
yep.
If you can get a spot, definitely get a spot.
You got any info on Doge Elon?
On Doge Elon? We initially bought Doge Elon, I don't know, I want to say a couple weeks ago. It was mentioned in our... we have a bunch of different threads in the Discord, guys, and it was just mentioned in one of the riskier buys. We made our money off of that because that was a trend back a couple weeks ago. You all remember when dog coins were just flying off the charts. Someone in the chat called Doge Elon. We obviously got a good percentage out of that. We got out. I'm not too sure on what the trend is or where that coin is trending now, but we already made our money off of that. And we probably moved on.
Yeah, you guys see Matt is giving out free info in the chat. This is quality information that only the Discord gets when you join the group. Pay attention to what he's saying, guys.
Yeah, you could have. Someone earlier in the chat mentioned it, right? So they joined. They joined Fundamental Secrets on October 31st. You got in on that gala call that Matt made, and they were basically able to pay off the course in that one trade, right? Once they sell all their coins and they're in profit, they pretty much mentioned that they were able to pay off the course. So. These are the kind of things that you get once you join the Fundamental Secrets, and these are the kind of calls you get, right? They could be life-changing amount of money.
You got a quick price prediction for Mina?
Quick price prediction. Let me see. I'll pull it up.
Yeah. This is not 100% accurate, guys. Don't take it and hold it against his throat.
Yeah, this is just a simple. I'm just looking this up.
All right, you're on screen share.
Yeah, I see the screen share. Let me see here. Seems like Mina's price is consolidating. It seems like we found a good support level here at around like the $4 and I guess what, like $4.20 mark. Seems like we're just consolidating here. Let me see. Yeah, probably draw from here like this. Seems like we're just in a. I'll probably call this the descending triangle, possibly. Looks like we're probably getting to the end of it. I mean, it's probably still going to be coiling up. I'd probably have to do a little bit more research, look at this on different time frames, but I mean, it's looking good. It's looking like it's just consolidating, kind of just following Bitcoin, right, guys? We saw what Bitcoin kind of did over the weekend. Kind of looks like it's just coiling up here. I mean, obviously we saw this upper wick here. It's going to probably try and come back up to fill these imbalances in the chart. So in the short to midterm, we might see it go up. Obviously, it's going to depend on what Bitcoin does. Just do a little bit more research on this, guys. Obviously, you're going to want to do more in depth. For me, my aspect, it's looking interesting. It's looked like it's just consolidating right here. And then when it takes the next step up, it's going to probably be a big jump.
Yeah, you guys see what Okie Pokey said. We have both of our coaches in the chat. Make sure you guys are paying attention to what they say because this is free advice.
Literally. So this is kind of when I get into, guys. This is kind of like the meat and potatoes of probably the chat. I'm just going to be going over some technicals. If you remember this line, I drew this out last week. Pretty much I don't want to say I hit it on the head, but I mean, it kind of just speaks for itself, right? We kind of were around here last week. So this was November 22nd. We were around here. We were all wondering what Bitcoin was going to do. I mentioned the fact that we have this long-term trend line just giving us support. And I pretty much mentioned that we'd probably come back, test this trend line, and then if we hold the trend line, we bounce off the trend line and go up. And that's kind of exactly what happened, right? We saw it come back. We hit this trend line at around 53,300, and now we're bouncing up, and we've skyrocketed all the way up to 58,000. Looking on this on the lower time frames, which
Guys, let me correct myself real quick. This is not financial advice. I am sorry.
Yes,
this is not financial advice.
Obviously here you can still see that long-term trending line. Here on this is the 4-hour chart, by the way, guys. You can see we've kind of, let me get rid of this line. I'm just gonna get rid of this line, make it a little bit cleaner for you guys so you can see it here. As you can see, on this 4-hour chart, we've kind of come out and we've broken out of this chart. We broke out, we've come back and tested it. Now we're using this level of what was resistance as support, and now we're just continuing on our merry way up. We're probably going to meet our next level of resistance at, I would probably say, at around 61K, or we might have to first pass this level of resistance up here at around 59. But things are looking good, guys. I mean, what can I say, right? So we literally came out, we broke out of this falling wedge. We've now tested it as support, and we're going to continue. So this is looking pretty bullish, to be honest. Obviously, people like to go and kind of worry about 100K. I think you guys need to take a step back first and realize we need to get over 60K and 65K first before we start talking about 100K or 150K BTC. Let's worry about getting past these levels first before we start trying to predict the future and stuff like that, right, guys? We don't try and make predictions. We try and make projections. So Bitcoin's looking really strong. Something else I wanted to mention. This was probably one of the most bullish things that I saw, and it was actually with ETH. So ETH on the weekly time frame. Sorry about that. So if we look at ETH on a weekly time frame, it looks like we've formed this nice cup and handle pattern. I'll draw it out for you guys here. So if you go like this, we came back like this, and now we've come back right up here, and we've tested this line of support, and we've built our support now, and we looks like we should be going up. Obviously, don't take this. We're not going to go to 7,000, but I'm just saying, in general, the trend is to go up off this cup and handle pattern, which I thought was pretty bullish. I mean, to be honest, it's a perfectly nice rounded bottom on the cup. We have the handle coming down, and then now we're hopefully tested this as support, and we're just going to continue on our merry way up, kind of just like everything else, right, guys? Things are looking really good in the crypto space. I also wanted to mention on the Bitcoin chart on the 4-hour time frame. This isn't something that I'm going to be calling, but it's just something I want you guys to also keep your eyes out on for. This could be the start of maybe an inverse head and shoulder pattern. So let me show you what I see here. So this still hasn't been confirmed, guys. I just want to make that very clear for you. This still has not been confirmed. This is just what I see here. We mentioned it on the stream last week as well, but we see a right shoulder here. We see the head here, and if this continues to form something like this, right, where we see it go up to 60K, we might be forming the right shoulder here. This hasn't been confirmed yet, guys. This is just something that I'm noticing on the chart. I wanted you guys to keep your eyes on for, because this could be something that could help you out in the future, right? If you see this forming and you get to the 60K level, you see it retrace a little bit and then come back towards this level, that could be the confirmation of this inverse head and shoulders pattern. Which honestly would probably have a price target at around 65K, I believe, if I did my math correctly. And then more confirmation, right? So this is on the hourly chart now. Oops.
Hey guys, I'm gonna leave the links for the giveaways and the survey in the chat one more time for everybody.
Thank you, sir. All right, we've kind of formed what looks like a little bull flag here, right, guys? If you take this, let me see. I'll just draw it out. If you look at this bull flag right here, and it looks like we've actually broken off of all the bull flags. So if you take, oops. If you take that line, oops, that's not me.
And can we get some likes for Armando in the chat, please? This guy is doing some analysis right in front of your face. You know, this is the kind of stuff we give at FS here.
Obviously the best line, but I just kind of measure that bull flag. It has a price target of around 61K. Obviously this isn't perfect, but this is kind of what I'm doing on my iPad. It'd be a little bit more precise if I had the computer, but it just has a technical, you know, what it could get to, guys, at around 61K just based off this small bull flag. As you can see, it's already kind of broken out and tested as support. So really interesting find that I kind of was going over this morning when I was doing my research for the live stream. Yeah. As you can see, guys, things are pretty bullish in my opinion. We have a lot going in the crypto space. We just saw BTC rally, right? So what are we sitting at right now? 58,500.
Are you selling alts to go all in on BTC?
No, so kind of like I have a similar, I guess you want to say, motto as Alex in terms of what I kind of like to put my portfolios in. So I do have a small holdings of BTC, but that's mostly just because I mine BTC and I have a bunch of miners that just give me BTC, right? So I hold whatever I get from my miners, I just hold. And then eventually, once I get to a big enough bag, you know, I either trade that in for other alts. But most of my portfolio is in Ethereum and other big cap alts and a couple smaller cap alts. But I'd probably say I hold anywhere from like, I don't know, maybe 10, 15% of Bitcoin.
Guys, leave some questions in the chat. What do you think about Shiba?
Shiba, right? So I actually just read that Shiba was just listed on the Kraken exchange right before we went on live stream. So Shiba is just like Doge, right? So it seems like it's getting mass adoption just because of the huge community that's behind it. As far as use case and what we can do with Shiba, you know, they have plans on what they want to do with Shiba, right? Shiba Swap, all these different things. They're actually trying to compete with Dogecoin. In long term, I'm not sure what I see for Shiba, right? It's already in the top 12, or what was it? I think it was like top 13 by market cap. So how much higher can it really go? Like, do you really want Shiba to be in the top 5 and overpass some of these projects like Solana or Polkadot? That would kind of make me a little scared, to be honest, if I saw Shiba get up that high. That's just my opinion, though, right?
Let's see. Say some questions, guys. We got any comments, questions for Armando to leave on? Shiba will continue to grow, but it is over bloated.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, I kind of agree, right? It's by top 12 or top 13 by market cap. So it's pretty up there.
You hold any Phantom?
I have a huge bag of Phantom, right?
What are your thoughts on Phantom?
I love Phantom as an ecosystem. I originally bought in when Alex called it at 92 cents a couple months back. And I've just DCA'd up in terms of like, I just keep adding every time it dips under $2, I just keep buying more. Obviously, because I bought a pretty big bag at 92 cents. And since then, when it got up to $3 and change, you know, I almost tripled my money there. I'm still holding just because obviously I'm at a good dollar cost average. Every time it goes under $2, I just buy more and more. I really like certain things on the Phantom ecosystem as well. There's some really nice coins on the ecosystem if you guys do some research. It's honestly a very quality project, and the fact that I think it's still sitting outside the top 20 by market cap still has a lot of room to grow, guys. I mean, just look at some of these platforms that took off at the beginning of this year, like Solana and Avalanche. You know, this has that kind of potential.
The Crypto.com coin.
The Crow. So, I don't own any Crow. just to be frank with you guys, I don't. But Crypto.com is just making waves, right? They just obviously we know what happened when they bought the Staples Center, one of the biggest arenas around the world. We basically know that they're invested and they're going to continue to grow. They pretty much made their investment back just a couple days after they renamed the Staples Arena. You know, with all the people flooding into Crypto.com, they made their money back in like a couple days. It was absolutely insane. In terms of where I see a price for Crow, to be honest, I'm not too sure. I haven't done too much research on the coin. I know that it obviously has been blowing by or just going up crazy percentages. I would probably have to pull it up on a chart and give you more information. But yeah, maybe on the next stream. You know, I'll do some research and I'll get back to you on the next stream.
Let's see. Thoughts on gaming tokens?
Gaming tokens.
Do you feel like they're undervalued right now?
Depends on which gaming token you're talking about, right? So if you're talking about Axis, no, I think they're probably decently priced in terms of like by total market cap. Other coins like Mana, Sand, Gala, even, right? All these other gaming coins, they still have value, guys. They still are undervalued in terms of what the industry is in terms of gaming. We did a video on it, right? So Alex mentioned it. There's over like 3.2 billion gamers around the world. Each of them spending anywhere from like $100 to $200 a year. Once that money starts moving more into the crypto space, these games are just going to start popping off. And Sandbox, once they probably, because they're doing their alpha, they just did their alpha passes to get access into their virtual world. You'll probably see Sand's price go up more. They're continuing to partner with people outside the crypto space so they can get brand recognition. So yeah, I see a lot of these gaming coins continuing to go up. It's obviously in trend right now, and it's not probably going to go away. It's probably not going to go away, right? Everyone loves to play games. The crypto space is continuously innovating, so they're just adding more to it so that you can do more things with it, right? So imagine being able to actually make a living off playing these games. You know, some people around the world where the cost of living is a lot lower or their wages are a lot lower, they can actually make a living playing some of these games like Axie or even Gala, just because that's the way their economy is, and they actually earn a better living playing these games than they do working a regular job where they live. So that's where I kind of see the future. A lot of these games are just going to become bigger and bigger. Obviously, you see the metaverse taking over the world. It's just endless possibilities, to be honest.
What's your thoughts on Polkadot?
Big bag of Polkadot, guys. So I have another big bag of Polkadot.
I do have a big bag of Polkadot too.
I originally got on that call as well at $26. I have huge long-term thoughts on terms of Polkadot and the ecosystem. I'm a huge believer in it, right? So interoperability, being able to talk to multiple chains, not just one, and being able to do things across all chains, I think is the future, right? I think they're taking the right. I think they're taking the right chance in terms of what they're doing, right? So instead of just focusing on their own ecosystem, they'd rather have the ability for all these ecosystems to talk. And what they're doing with these crowd loans, obviously, you know, for Moon River, Akala, all these other companies that are jumping into the Polkadot network, you should look into as well, right? So Alex called the other coin Glimmer off Moonbeam that you guys should look into as well once you have access to buying it here in the United States. So I have a huge bag of Polkadot, and I'm still holding it. I know that recent price has come down a bit, but recent price on a lot of things has come down a bit. So I have huge hopes for the project. I think it's going to continue to go up. I think it can be a top 5 coin by market cap. So yeah, that's probably my thoughts.
All right, one last question. The guy wants you to talk him out of Safe Moon.
Talk you out of Safe Moon? I don't know. If Alex doesn't talk you out of Safe Moon, yeah, I don't know what will, right? I know they're coming out with V2, but like V2 what? V2 to take more of your money? Like, I don't really know. It's one of these coins that obviously people has a huge following. So no matter what you say, someone's going to try and contradict what you're saying or come back with reasons as to why you should buy the coin. I would say I'm even more of a riskier person, right? In terms of like my portfolio and what I buy and what I hold. And I wouldn't touch SafeMoon with a 10-foot pole. And I do, you know, I'm constantly buying different coins on the Binance Smart Chain network just to give you guys an idea of how risky I can get. And I wouldn't buy SafeMoon. It's just, the community is all that it really has behind it. I don't really see any use case behind it. I don't see you gaining anything out of holding the coin, to be honest.
Yeah, Anthony said it in the chat. Safe Moon is not safe.
There we go. Safe Moon is not safe. Stranger danger.
All right, guys. We're probably going to look on getting out here. Just real quick, we do have a podcast out now. New one being released on this Thursday. We got 40% off the course. We have 2 giveaways going on. We have so much going on here at Fundamental Secrets. So make sure you check all that stuff out.
Yeah, guys, and tomorrow we are going to that NFT BLZ. It's going to be here at the FTX Arena in Miami. So you'll probably see me, Alex, and Eddie out there, and hopefully Marty. So if you want to come by and say hi, come check us out. We're probably going to try and do a live stream from over there. So we'll let you guys know. but we're really excited to be going to this event. It's probably going to be pretty big. It's Art Basel Week here in Miami. As you guys know, it's probably like a crypto hub, and we're trying to constantly do new things here in Miami. So I'm really excited to check it out, especially because it's the home of the Miami Heat.
Yeah. And one last thing, before Armando checks us out, we really want to thank you guys for supporting us, the likes and everything. It's our first live stream without Alex. We really want to give you guys that same feeling like when Alex is here. So we appreciate you guys showing up, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yes, guys. Thank you guys for coming by. And as Alex always says, if you don't get with it, you will get left behind. See you next time, guys.